Look, if I told you that the crisp, fancy bill in your wallet is basically no different from a used napkin, you'd probably think I lost my mind, right? But here's the cold, hard truth. Ever since one Sunday night back in 1971, every single cent in this world has lost its soul. Back then, money was literally evaporating, and the US dollar was shaking on its throne. America was getting choked out by the Vietnam War and some seriously nasty inflation. Banks all over the globe were freaking out because they realized the empire, the one promising that every dollar was as good as gold, was about to run its vaults bone. Dry, the official version sounded all noble and patriotic. President Nixon went on television and said that to protect the dollar from international speculators and keep the economy stable, he was temporarily suspending the exchange of dollars for gold. Sounds like a smart tactical move to put out a fire, right? Like a necessary blackout to save the power grid. PFFT, yeah, right, that wasn't some temporary tweak. That was the biggest legal robbery in the history of the human race. See, the dirty secret is that the US told a multi-hundred-billion-dollar lie. After WE, the whole system promised the world $35 would always get you an ounce of gold. Everyone bought it. They treated dollars like gold certificates. But by the late 60s, because of the insane costs of the war, the US had printed way more paper than they had gold in the basement. The French were the first to call the bluff. President de Gaulle literally sent a battleship loaded with cash to the US docks and said, "Cut the talk. Give us the gold." The White House went into total panic mode. If they didn't stiff their creditors, the US vaults would been empty in days. So Nixon and his elite inner circle pulled the ultimate bro move. They unilaterally tore up the contract. That not an adjustment. That is a sovereign default. They took the world S-Trust and fed it straight into the shredder, and if you think this is just some high-level game between countries, you being naive, because from that exact second, the hand of God was removed, and the Pandora S-box of the printing press was ripped wide open. The ripple effect hit like a tsunami. Once the dollar wasn't tied to anything real, it just became a digital game of copy-paste. Money lost its most important job, storing value. In the 70s, prices went vertical. People realized the savings they de-worked their butts off for were shrinking right in front of their eyes. It triggered this weird collective anxiety. People stopped saving and started obsessively spending and speculating. It was a pre-planned financial massacre. And the victims were every regular person who believed that hard work equals wealth. Because the rules changed. Now, the winner is whoever sitting closest to the printing press. Think about the silence of that Sunday night. When Nixon sat there calmly announcing that decision, the wealth of billions of people lost its line of defense. It was the craziest magic trick in history. The gold didn't disappear. It just evaporated out of your savings and into the deep pockets of the people in power. Don't think this is just ancient history? Look at your phone right now. You really think prices are up just because of bad weather or supply chain issues? The end of the gold standard isn't just some boring finance term. It's a 50-year-long heist on your purchasing power. When the Fed can just flip a switch and print trillions out of thin air, every hour of overtime you put in is just paying for the mistakes of the Wall Street elite. Why are house prices so high they make you want to scream? Why does every gallon of gas or loaf of bread feel like a luxury? It's because when money isn't tied to reality, it becomes the ultimate weapon for the powerful. The big players figured out the secret, create bubble after bubble, and trick you into a 30-year mortgage to bet against them. You not getting rich through real estate, you just a battery for a soulless paper system. The greatest trick Wall Street ever pulled wasn't treating wealth. It was making the public believe that printed paper is wealth. In this house of cards built on debt, if you still dreaming of saving your way to freedom, you haven't seen the cards yet. In an era where the truth is a luxury, if you can see who has cranking the handle on the printing press, you better watch out, because what you re-holding onto might just be a pile of really pretty scrap paper. Next time, I'll talk about the guy who was even colder than Nixon. The Black Monday that almost turned the entire global economy off in 24 hours. Trust me, you're gonna miss the peace and quiet of today after you hear that.